So we are going on an appeal, and we are the argument is, I feel like the court, and when I talked to Julie for the very first time, immediately she discouraged me that appeal is so hard to win. It's like there's only 20% of chance of going through, and that's the one of the strongest appeal. And she said, and she asked me some very important question, like, is it really worth it? So what are you going for in this? And of course it made me think a lot, and I feel like I have nothing left on my life but the principle that I feel like I deserve something. I've been a good wife. I've been a good mother. I've been a good person, and I did dedicate my prime life to that man, which is, it happens a lot. There's some psychopath assholes like him, greedy, shady person, and it's, a lot of some other is even worse, because they really even have no chance at all to fight, because they're like domestic violence is involved and other things were involved. But I can still look at the bright side of mine, and I get that. But I think where I was really like, what kind of things I was really holding is, I believe so much in America, and there's a lot of things in America that my own country where I'm from does not offer. And when here, I feel like there's some sort of a person like me finally is being heard, has value, and can fight on things, as long as we have, like, principle. That's all we needed. We did not have, like, in my country, you only get justice when you're rich. You only get to do it when you look pretty. You would have a person like me just has no chance, has no voice, has nothing. But when I came to America, and I felt that. So when I felt that, I carried it with my journey here, no matter how hard. I believe in America. I fell in love with America. But then it came the situation that now my belief in America, my love of America is being questioned and being challenged through this kind of difficult situation. And then what happened to me, what happened on my case, it told me the opposite. It opened my eyes to the awareness of reality that America is just the same as everywhere else. Corruption. Excuse me, what I'm talking. Corruption, greed, power, status, and everything exists. And that part was so hard to swallow, because it did kill me inside. It hurt me that nobody could hurt me besides my son. It ruined everything that I have worked hard to put in my brain in order to survive, to have decency, to have hope, to have dreams, to have integrity, to have this, high moral, high values person. It makes me don't want to believe it anymore. It makes me feel like all that is just bullshit. The reality of it is you're nobody, you don't matter, and nobody care, and fuck you. That's what I felt. And it's sad, because all my life that's what I felt with my parents. That's what I felt with my relatives. That's what I felt with my friends. That's what I felt with some of my lovers. And for that, I don't know why it hurt so much when the judge did it, because I don't really know why it hurt so bad that Judge Howell did it. I think because
I don't think it's the fact that he did it. I think it's the way it happened. Purely for the fact that you never got any proper closure. You were looking for, from what you told me and what you explained to me, you kept saying, if the judge makes the decision that I don't get anything, I will accept it. But looking at the decision that was made, it wasn't the judge that made the decision. There was nothing about the decision that was from the judge's own words. And I think even if you didn't realize that at the time, you realized it subconsciously, that the judge never did anything, especially after the complete contrast between the end of the case and the ending decision. There was a disconnect between what you believed the judge would say and what actually happened. And there was nothing that could fix that, because even afterwards, when you had Julie ask for an explanation, there was none. There was no closure from Judge Howell. He did nothing in the end. And that was what you were waiting for the judge to do something. Whether it be positive or negative, you were waiting for the judge to do something. But the judge did nothing.
I see. So that's my disappointment. That's where I lost hope.
Yeah. And the true mystery here, to me, is finding out why the judge did nothing. Because that's going to be what really gives you closure. Because if the judge comes out and says he did nothing because he thinks there's enough evidence to prove that you're guilty and you're an evil bitch, and he shows that, and those are his words, I think you'll accept it. But if the judge comes out and says, well, I had to do this because this and this and this would come out and I would lose my job, my integrity, and my place in the church, I think you'd accept that too. You wouldn't be happy about it, and it would be a completely different thing, but I think you'd accept it. And if the judge comes out and says, no, I just fully agreed with what they said out of the basis of what I heard in court, I don't think you would like that. But because it came from the judge, and if it was truthful in your eyes, because I know you can point out bullshit, then I think you would accept it.
I agree. You're right. Damn, you're right again. So yeah, so I think that's the hardest part of it all is, and if even though if he said that I'm guilty of some things and that's why, and this so now, and just some sort of something, I think, but they were nothing. And not only that, he slapped me of contempt, and now I have a record that I have, a warrant of arrest, which is for a person like me, it's such a big deal to get that, because it's just not my nature, not our nature. But I learned in the system that sometimes you just gotta brave all that kind of things, because I cannot allow fear tactic to play role in my life. So if it does and it happened and it's injustice, I'm willing to be locked up because of it. It sucks. It's horrible. What would happen to me and everything. But if that's how my life is gonna be, I actually accepted it.
Well, that's another thing that just makes me think that Howell doesn't have any control over this anymore. Is you had every bit of proof to show that you did not have the ability to show up in person for that last thing where they ruled that you were in contempt and suspended your licenses and whatever. Like, that was absolutely ridiculous for the judge to not allow you to appear virtually. Because you requested, or you agreed to appear.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you responded. It was one of the only times you responded. But you agreed to appear as long as you could do it virtually. And then you provided proof that you didn't have the means to get there.
Mm-hmm.
And then they still just outright denied you being able to appear at all. So there was some kind of plan in place that you showed up. They were going to file that you were in contempt. They were going to lock you up right there, and they were going to hold you until they got whatever the fuck they wanted from you. That was their plan, and because they couldn't do it, they were just going to deny everything.
So is that like, so are you saying so Larry is that powerful that he's able to do that, like, you
I
know,
don't
now
know if
control the
Larry's
judge?
that powerful, but he might have found someone who is.
Oh, I see. Yeah, like his asshole's lawyer and their firm.
Maybe they know somebody.
Yeah.
Maybe they know somebody that they know Larry can afford.
Yeah. Yeah, makes sense. But
Because this seems like something, just how it, the extreme shift. So you had the one lawyer who was your first lawyer, right? He's a good lawyer.
mm-hmm.
And he was communicating with you, he was working with you,
Mm-hmm.
and then there was a shift.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, boom, he withdraws.
Mm-hmm.
Then you have to fight and try and find another one. None of the lawyers in the area will even talk to you.
Mm-hmm.
Until you find Jared,
Mm-hmm.
the plant.
Mm-hmm.
The incompetent lawyer who comes in and kind of puts in some good points, but never really gets you anywhere.
Mm-hmm.
Who fucked up on so many accounts, was late on so many things, and was complicit in basically destroying the beginning of your case.
Mm-hmm. And then at the end of the day, he was not even willing to do the things that, remember, I fired him on the spot before my thing, and he did not want to be fired.
Yeah, he refused to leave it, and I think there was a reason for that. I think if anyone else had been able to take over his spot at the end of that case,
Mm-hmm.
something could have been done.
Mm-hmm.
And he couldn't let that happen.
Mm-hmm.
Because you heard how much he talked about the money.
Mm-hmm.
How he was bothered by, not being able to pay for this or pay for that.
Well, that's later though. At the beginning, he wasn't. We're talking about when the time, because that came out later.
Yeah, I know. But that's when he was getting desperate.
Yeah.
All of that built up.
Mm.
So,
But he.
I think there was something there. They were keeping something from him, or they had something to do with him. Because he was too weak to stand on his fucking own.
He, at the beginning, he was also for me, and later on, twice the meeting, I have recording of our meeting. He was so different. It was, now he's like a lawyer over the other side.
That's what I'm saying. There was a shift, and a weird shift.
Mm-hmm.
Every single time you were in contact with these people. Now, Jared, because I think he's a plant and I think he's just a weak man,
Mm-hmm.
I think that's why he led you to Julie. As just a final offering of, you know what, I was bought out, I can't do shit, but maybe she can.
Mm. Well, she did not, because remember, I am the one who chose. He just lead me to a different, because he, I think you have a case here for an appeal, and this is it. So, because I think he finally saw some of the things that had happened, but he was late of submitting all my papers because he said he has a baby in ICU or something.
Well, you've got to understand, it also looks bad on him because none of the arguments he made had any effect at all whatsoever.
Yeah, and he could have a much better argument if he had submitted all the documents that we had worked on.
And, as much as he may have still been bought out, he still had, some sort of...
Conscience.
Conscience, yes, but he had some sort of thought in his head of how the case would turn out.
Mm-hmm.
And you know just as well as I do, there was genuine shock in his voice when we were talking to him about this.
Mm-hmm.
Like, he was almost just as surprised as we were.
Mm. Because nobody saw these things coming. It was such a devastating news to all of us that nobody like was prepared for it. And of course, if everybody was feeling that, just how much more me.
Just saying. So you notice the shift in Jared about halfway through your case with him.
Mm-hmm.
And it turned him against you.
Mm-hmm.
Now, when I entered in, he was kind of already against you.
Mm-hmm.
So I only really got to see the one side of him.
Mm-hmm.
But on paper, I got to see the other side in the beginning when he was very attentive and talking to you.
Yeah.
So I gave him that benefit of the doubt.
Mm-hmm.
And it wasn't until after that decision was made that we saw that again.
Yeah, and it was just so weird because it's supposed to be decision and it took time because the other lawyer was sick. You know what I mean? And they postponed it. And then later on, he's all about money.
It was all a bunch of bullshit and stalling until they could get something.
Yeah, something like that. Like they were working on something.
So, and then at the end, after the decision was made, I'm telling you, that was the most attentive and helpful Jared had ever been.
That was him in the beginning. I told you that he was like that. I was so happy, and then suddenly it changes and it's different. And he would not even put things that I wanted in papers, remember?
Yeah. He fucked up a lot of things.
Like he listened to the other side and that's what he wanted to put. It's the same thing what happened to the judge, seems like. You know? And I'm like, no, that's not how it is.
And then after that decision came out, whatever promises were made to him probably weren't fulfilled. So he wasn't worried about helping you because he felt like an ass, probably.
Mm-hmm.
At least that's what I hope, you know, giving him the benefit of some kind of doubt, you know? Because from what I saw and from what you know, in the beginning he did help.
Yeah, he did.
Then something happened and he didn't, to the point where it was detrimental. And then at the very end, like, he didn't pull through for you really, but he put you in contact with someone or something who might be able to.
Yeah.
And also gave us a lot of really good advice on what to do going forward.
And technically kind of free now because, you know, he wasn't my lawyer anymore.
Yeah.
So that's what happened. And
that's another thing too. Consulting with us for free for so long after he already took himself off the case. You know, that he didn't have to do that.
Yeah, I know. He could have just really, you know, like...
He could have just hung up on us every time we called him.
Yeah, and that's when it's...
I know it was kind of hard to get in touch with him, but still, he didn't have to talk to us at all. And he could have charged us for it.
Yes, so that's what happened. And then finally I found a woman lawyer that's actually fighting for me, and just her gesture of the way she does things means so much to me. It gave me a little bit more life, a little bit more hope. Well, it's not a little bit because I lost all that. So she gave me hope, she gave me light. But because of what happened, I have a very low expectation. Like, I lost my thing to believe on something, on my own knowledge and wisdom, on myself, because it seems to, you know, like you just lost things. I don't know how else to word it, but I've been lost since then. I don't even know how I still go on with life. Like, I really was kind of like done with life. Like, nothing makes sense anymore. The world is too nasty. It's not the world, it's the people. And even the people, you know, in the higher power and everything, they're just all corrupt, they're all just greedy, they're just all this, and there's no justice, there's nothing. So I'm kind of like, so like I'm really the only person, the only thing that I have is Maui. Well, that's not his name. His
And
name
that
is
guy.
Christian. That guy. He's still technically I died, and he's watering me and putting me back to life.
I'm the guardian angel.
Well, don't go that far.
The big man with the hook from the sea that came to fish you out of the water.
Well,
Moana.
don't give yourself that far. So he, the fluctuation of emotion, the things of sometimes I would just wanna just fuck it and ruin my life, that thing, all that upside down roller coaster. This guy is not giving up. He was there ready to catch me. I don't know what's wrong with him. Ask him. That's not for me to answer.
Well, the last time someone asked me what was wrong with me, here, I'll get on camera for this one because this is a good one. The last time someone asked me what was wrong with me, it was in an airport.
When you stole the drink.
I forget where we were. We were either here in North Carolina or we were out somewhere the fuck else. But yeah, we got really drunk, or I did. I got really drunk in the Amex lounge, and then we were waiting at our gate. And I took a small drunk nap, and I woke up to Bojangles sweet tea next to me. Me thinking, yes, I always get Bojangles sweet tea. This must be mine. And because we sat secluded from everybody else when I fell asleep, I was like, all right, she loves Bojangles. She would probably get Bojangles. She would know I would want a sweet. This is like me waking up, 10 seconds, boom, my sweet tea. I start drinking it, and all of a sudden, someone's yelling at me. I don't know what the hell is going on. I look up at this guy. He's like, what the fuck is wrong with you? And I'm like, a fucking lot. Like, what? It still took me a few minutes to realize what happened. Even after you told me I stole someone else's drink. I had no clue what was going on.
It was like, you need to get off shit that you were smoking. Yeah, I don't know how I reacted. I didn't have no comment on that one. I was just like, what did you do? Because I know that he did not do a right thing. He did stole someone's drink unconsciously.
And it wasn't even the guy's drink either. It was his kid's drink.
Yeah, but that's even worse. It's
Yeah,
his
I know,
kid's
it's
drink.
worse.
So the guy was so upset and everything, but
Like, I felt bad, but I was also drunk, so I kind of didn't care.
it was an honest, innocent things, but the guy did not look at it that way because, of course, he's trying to confront, just normal reaction.
Yeah, and I caught him off guard by going into exactly what he wanted to hear. He asked me what was wrong with me. I said a lot.
Yeah, so me, I'm just like, well, in that case, my output on that one is just, I just gotta let it happen and watch. Because how else you're gonna react? There's nothing to fight. I cannot fight because he's in the wrong and the guy is upset, so I'm just gonna watch and see what happened.
And you would not be wrong for that.
Yeah, like,
I mean, yeah, that was totally my mistake. And I just happened to say the best thing possible at the time, I guess. Because if I like backed down and realized immediately and started apologizing, I would have looked like a little bitch, and he would have tried to take advantage of me and made me pay for stuff. But
Well, it's not taking advantage. You should actually offer to pay for that stuff because it wasn't yours to begin with.
well, yeah, but the best thing to do for me in that situation is to completely get out of it. So, and I don't know what happened in my head, but that was what came to mind. Get out of it. So it's just
No, the way to get out of this is apologize and pay for it.
No, the way to get out of it without doing anything is just to lean into whatever's going on. He asked me what was wrong with me. I say a lot.
No, the way that you get out is the way you get out of it, and that was not the right way to get out of it.
It wasn't, but in my drunk mind, it definitely fucking was.
We can't go by the jungle because we're getting on a plane anyway, but it was like, that was kind of embarrassing at the same time, but it was an innocent, innocent way.
It can't be embarrassing because no one else was witness to that. No one else was paying attention to us. It was just us that was in that moment. So while it was odd and uncomfortable in the beginning, it was funny as hell immediately after.
But it was funny because what just happened. Nobody got hurt. But
Exactly.
But anyway, why did we end up with that? Okay, that's a sidetrack that you can edit later.
Yeah, that's what her and that guy is gonna be about.
So we did that, and so now, and that's what the feeling and emotion of all this. And of course, I have a very low expectation, but of course, I still have hope that hopefully the the appellate court is gonna do something and see through all the BS that's going on. And I have hope that there's 3 judges, so it's impossible for them to get bought or get whatever. But it's not impossible. It's still possible. I researched about it, but it would be a lot harder. And it seems like my lawyer is not a person that a type of a person that can be bought or can be whatever. She has my personality. She has the things she goes with. Well, I can be both, depends on the situation, but not like this, in this kind of situation. So she seems to actually really fight for me. And I appreciate it with all my heart for that. And now we just got, she's just about to submit the written briefing of what should have happened and where the lower court, was doing a lot of errors with their decision and all the decision that's in question. There's quite a few, so even just 1 or 2 or 3 that's gonna change, it's still worth fighting because it's something better than nothing. That what the lower court did to me, nothing. Not only it's nothing, negative 1 million and a negative 1.5 million, and I'm facing jail time. So
I mean, it's a little bit more than that.
what else?
I mean, I just mean, like, the way you explained it was a little vague in how you're presenting it.
Oh.
And it's just, there's a lot more that goes into what's going on right now.
Okay, so in my point of view, I believe that the trial court erred in multiple respects. It refused to consider claims to several of my claim in Larry's businesses. It disregarded the fact that Larry acquired portion of the Datsun supply while married to me through the payments to his ex-wife and the payments to his siblings. And also, the court did not consider that Larry's income was used to pay the house and purchase asset that's in the vault and other businesses. It also did not even look at my alimony because for them is outrageous without realizing or without looking at it or giving explanation that that's what my lifestyle was when I was with him. and then for the judge to hold me contempt when I said that I'm unable, not just what I said, I have proof. I have no car. I'm way far out of state. My income was, so do I have income that time? Was very low. And it just, there's no way for me to do it. But doesn't even give me a single hair of anything. It's just, no, you're doing this. So, and also it's making me return on the something that it's according to the decision of the divorce, it's not even its jurisdiction, and the ownership it's in question. So that's what I believe. So there's so many error that the judge did against the law. So I think a lot of the decisions should be reversed, and then it need a new trial to make it at least fair. But is the trial, the question now, is the Court of Appeals gonna look at it that way? Do they have things that I do not see, or my appellate lawyer don't see? That's the exciting part, because as of this day, September 28, 2005, we do not know.
Did you just say 2005?
2025. So so there is a hope in my belief in what I think should have happened. Like I believe that I have a strong case for an appeal. But is that the gonna be the other side? Is the 3 judges that gonna look at my case is gonna see the same thing, or do you have their own reasons? Or maybe Judge Anthony Howell has his own reason why he made such decision?
Find out next time on Dragon Ball Z.
That's when it's to be continued, and it's I don't know if it's exciting, if it's curious, or how do you word this? But I got something.
I mean, oh my god, I look like shit. A lot of it's messed up. A lot of it's not cool. A lot of it can't really be explained. But what we know right now is we're fighting for what should be right, what the American justice system was built for, fighting for the rights of the people who deserve it, rather than fighting for a bunch of greedy assholes who can pay their way through anything they'd ever want in their lives. Because that's what things have come to. And it's not right for us to just lay back and accept it. Some people have to be a voice, even if they're not going to be the voice.
So I have asked that before, but not recorded. We're gonna be like the words of your mom. Are you guys, maybe it's time to move on, maybe it's time to let go, maybe you guys is just in a pipe dream?
We could be. But the pride and the willingness and what's the fucking word I'm looking for?
You seems to use a lot of fucking, and is that okay here?
Probably not. I can bleep it.
Okay. Can I use fucking?
You just did.
But I not get in trouble.
It's like your willpower.
Mm-hmm.
You know, if you truly believe in something,
Mm-hmm.
why wouldn't you fight for it? It's something humans have done throughout all of history.
Yes, but it's not. What's gonna happen now is like what I did. I believe so much in Judge Howell. I have so much respect, and guess what happened?
Yeah.
So do you wanna
You got fucked over.
Yeah. So do you wanna
You
put
want to know what
yourself?
happens after that?
Uh-huh.
In the context of human history, not
Mm-hmm.
just American history. It is a lot in American history, but human history in general.
Mm-hmm.
You believe in something, it fucks you over. It means war,
Mm-hmm.
and war there shall be. It's a small one, something we can only fight with a 2-man army against however the hell they have. But it's a war.
You also see if I don't, right, it's technically I accepted something that's not unacceptable. it it just it just I just can't do that. I can't live the rest of my life doing that.
And we had similar stances on that. You know, there's a lot of people that go their entire lives just following the path that people tell them to do. This whole time you've been talked down, saying, no, you have no chance, back down, blah, 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 blah. Until you found a select few people, one of which being me, who was on your side, believed in you and your story, and decided to try and help. It wasn't because of you necessarily, not entirely at least, but it was because we resonated with it. All of us that have backed you have been through something similar that we hadn't been able to do anything for.
Mm-hmm. But do you think that I've been threatened to jail, I've been threatened to get ripped, stripped of everything that what I got. I've been threatened to, like, I've been put down, the stories been created, so just to really ruin me, right? And you've known how I dealt with it, because it seems so very natural, because I go through with it, like I have experience. But this one, of course, it's real because you're actually in a court.
So, look at it from how I've lived through this. All right. So, when I first met you, I was promised nothing. And then as our relationship continued, it was more of a, I can give you this, and we're going to have fun and be comfortable. And I could have kept it as that. What happened was things got a little serious. Not necessarily between our relationship, but just between everything that was happening.
Mm-hmm.
I could have ran.
Mm-hmm.
I could have gone off somewhere. It wasn't our relationship that stopped me. It wasn't my conscience that stopped me. In the end, I think I truly just resonated with the story.
Mm.
I had nothing else to fight for. Everything I fought for lost. You seemed to need the help, and I was able to help. That made me feel needed, wanted, necessary, whatever. Gave me some kind of purpose.
Mm. But did I ever ask you for help?
No.
I just let it play, right? And I just pieces telling you this is it, by, like,
You gave me some information. I could have ignored it completely.
or not care, or don't know anything about it.
Yeah. But we ended up talking, and we ended up talking a lot about it.
Mm.
And I ended up being able to help in the ways I could. You appreciated it.
And I think even during the trial, you still did not grasp the full.
I didn't. It wasn't until a lot of the reading and studying that I did after.
Like, there's a lot of ugliness, there's a lot of things more got unraveled, and me personally, I was more on a like my wound got peeled and got open for you to see.
But the main thing was, you were fully transparent.
Mm-hmm.
At least to me.
Mm-hmm.
You never lied. You never tried to cover yourself. If something bad came out, you were like, yeah, I did it, or no, I didn't.
Mm-hmm.
I had no reason to not trust you.
Mm-hmm.
And the fact that you were genuine and this other side was not, it's the cliche battle of, you know, light versus dark, night versus day.
Yeah.
Whose side are you going to be on?
Mm-hmm.
If I left you to the wind, I'm no better than them.
Mm-hmm.
Because that's exactly what they want to do. That's not what I want for myself. Plus, once again, I resonated with the fight. I was never a person that people fought for.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I was never on that winning side. You know, I know that whatever, it's cliche again. I was bullied. I was the fat kid. I moved around a lot. I never had friends. I never had anyone to support me, back me up. My mother was always working. My stepdad was military. He was never home. My real dad is words. You know, I didn't have anyone behind me. And while you weren't necessarily behind me at the time, you were the closest person to it. You know, you listened. You were there for me. You helped me a lot. And it's more than just returning the favor, because I don't have to. Because you did most of the things you did with me for you. You were going to do them anyway. But it's the other things, the little things, like you just can't forget all of that. And then there's things that you do, signs that you show that just show your character, show who you are as a person. And if you're close enough to you to actually see you for you, instead of how people see you on a blank slate looking from afar, it's completely different. And if people knew that side of you,
Oh.
I don't think you would have a problem having everyone in Utah listen to you, at least.
Why do I need the people in Utah to listen to me?
So you don't have to go through this court shit and fucking corrupt bullshit again. People will just fucking respect you.
But maybe going through this, it's, things like this build your character, question your entire being, question your willpower, your everything that you do. That maybe it's necessary.
I'm going to stop you. Okay? How much character building does a person truly need? You've already gone through enough. You didn't need all of this extra at the middle stage of your life where you need to settle down and be comfortable. I understand, like, we would have never met if you didn't have this much trouble in this case. But there's still a non-zero chance we wouldn't have met.
But who are you to say? It's like the people that going through things like in a poverty in the Philippines, and they just go through it and are like, it just never end. Who are you to say that there's enough and I deserve, what I do not deserve? Like, how do you justify, or how do you explain that kind of things? Like, is it not like sometimes, when you do something, there's a tree, it doesn't just go to like your dreams and everything, or the problem, that the obstacle, that thing, it goes to things like this too.
Okay, so I'll refer to the argument that I made before.
You did something.
Mm-hmm.
You went through the poverty in the Philippines. You went through the upper class part directly down into the lower class part. You didn't like where you were at. You wanted to do something about it. So you did. You got out. You did something with your life. Everyone else over there has that opportunity. Yes, you were lucky. Yes, you met certain people. But it could have been some other person who happened to walk up on that couple at the bar and said the same thing. Anyone has the opportunity. You just have to work for it. You have to look for it. You have to go out and find it. You have to go out and do it. You did it. None of them are. If they're trying to right now, they just haven't yet. And a lot of them will.
It's none of them are. There's quite a lot of people that did it too.
Exactly. You already know a bunch of people that have come over here. We're in contact with a few of them. We know them. We worked with them. We see them all the time.
Yeah.
If they have the drive, if they have the motivation, if they have the will to actually do something about it, they will. If they don't, they're going to be stuck. And that's not your fault. That's not anyone's fault.
Yes, but my point being is not about that. My point being is, who are you? Like, oh, she's been through a lot. She deserved to have this. She doesn't need to go through this.
It's not that you deserve it because you've been through a bunch. It's not some karmatic ritual that needs to happen. It's the fact that you've been through a lot. You realized you didn't want it, and you did something about it. So you deserve it. There's a lot of people who don't do anything about anything, and then they still get everything they wanted, and they're spoiled. Those are the ones who don't deserve it. The ones who do deserve it are the ones who've already been through the shit and crawled out of it.
My thing with life is, I was never been the person, you've known me, I was never been like engaged in trouble, right? When I do, it's for fun, adventure. It was never in a serious setting, right? It puzzled me that I'm one of the person that tried so hard and did the right thing. Like, I wasn't the one that would go out there so I can use somebody and take advantage of somebody. They actually came to me. Most of the events in my life, there's always somebody that came to me. And then I just get handed with all this scenario that either I have to figure out my exit, or I have to figure out, or I have to play the game that I did not even volunteer myself to participate in.
That's just how life is.
Yes, and that's why I'm understanding it, and that's what my point is. It's just that's just how life is. You just, and that's the authenticity about life, because you just like this is just really what's you're gonna find out pretty fast.
We can go straight into the argument that we're just a fucking, sorry, I keep saying fucking, I have to bleep the hell out of this. That guy is cussing too much. But it just goes directly into the argument about how we're a speck of dust on a speck of dust in the middle of nowhere on a speck of dust.
Mm-hmm.
But, we have to put some kind of meaning as to why we're here and what we're doing.
Mm-hmm.
So that sort of nihilism and pessimism is going to get us nowhere. We just have to find something that we believe in, that we can fight for, that is feasible, and hope that other people understand what we're doing.
Well, I'm not here for people to understand. I'm here so people can see that this is happening.
That's literally the definition of having people understand.
Oh. Okay.
I don't mean people to understand you just as a person in general, but people to understand, what's going on, the backside of the justice system, a dark side of one part of the law, even if it's just your story that's affected, even if you're the only person who's gone through something like this lately, at least it gets exposed.
Yeah, and I think that's why, because I decided that, I'm going to fold my story and I'm going to take it to the grave.
But
I
no
think
use in you taking it to the grave because you want something to be done about it, right?
exactly, and that's why I think I'm coming out online again, and that's exactly why I'm doing this. And I think now it makes me, because there's something about me wanted to share this, and now I just realized that this is actually why I'm doing it, because at the end of the day, I'm still that person. I was always been that person, but the world.
You don't have to be that person. You don't have to be empathetic. You don't have to care about people. You don't have to, you don't have to be the nice guy. But the least you can do, at least for something like this, even if deep down it could be for selfish reasons, is to voice this out so that while, yes, you're telling everybody how you were hurt, boo-hoo, poor me, what the fuck ever, you're still letting people know that this is happening, and hopefully by doing this we can prevent this from happening further. At least look into it. Even if your thing isn't overturned, maybe this will be used as a precedence in the future so that something else might. You're the first voice. You are a voice. You might not be the voice, but you are a voice. And it means something. Sorry, that guy in the background again.
Yeah, and you should, when you're talking, you should be closer, not fucking farther away.
Well, that's why I started talking louder so the camera could pick me up.
I don't know if how it's picking it up.
Well, I can mess with audio later if I need to.
You can also put words.
Yes, I can put subtitles on the bottom. That guy speaking in the background again.
Yeah, so that's where we're at. And a lot of this conversation, the way we talk about things is it haven't been out and I haven't recorded, and I feel like a lot of these things should have been, but I decided not to. And and you don't get authenticity sometimes when you know somebody's recording whatever. So but at this time we are very, we're already fucked, so what else can fuck us up technically?
Yeah, I think it's best that we waited this long to do anything like this, because I think now we've been through enough to be this comfortable with each other that even on camera, if we're talking about something like this, it's not going to change our outlook, it's not going to change our view, it's not going to change what we say. We're going to be honest with each other. So even if we film it, it's still going to be there. This isn't doctored, this isn't scripted, this is just us talking.
Mm-hmm.
Just happens to be recorded this time.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what you want this. That's what you want this new channel, this new side of you to be, right?
Yes.
Just you, your story, what we're doing, what we've been through. Unscripted, unfiltered sometimes. Just that.
I'm hungry.
Sounded more like gas from all the coffee.
Why are you opening shit?
Because the light's getting dimmer, so I have to keep the.
No, I don't
positive
like.
light on you.
I don't like that. I like the reflection of the.
You didn't like that one?
Yeah, too bright. Yeah, that's better. See.
All right, let's in a little bit more light.
So. Yeah, that's where we're at. So what do you think?
It's a good talk. But we didn't talk about the paper at all like you wanted to.
Well, well, it seems like that was it. It was, I think,
I thought you wanted to do a Q&A based on the bullet points that she made in the explanation work.
Well, so, okay, we can do that.
That's how you presented it to me.
Oh,
We're making a video.
I get side distracted again, I guess. I don't know. So the issues.
Yeah,
Yeah, we need to do another video.
Yeah, make a new video.
So